Welcome to episode 10 of the Moms That Read podcast. I'm Katarina.
I'm McKenzie.
And I'm Kaylee. And today we are playing a fun little game of we listen and we don't judge. So I posted on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and asked for your bookish toxic trait that you have, and y'all did not disappoint. I got lots of responses, and Katarina and McKenzie don't know what they are. I have the list on my phone so we could get their fun reactions. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one just because if you have a toxic trait, just know you're not alone. There are people out there who
all do
have toxic traits as well, and they're probably worse than yours.
Scared that I'm gonna relate to too many of these things.
Yeah, honestly,
I
did related to
That's
one
scary.
too many.
I also feel like you don't realize you have a toxic trait until you start reading more, and then you're like, oh,
You're like,
wait,
I'm the problem.
I do that.
It's me. Hi.
Hi.
So we're gonna start off with our toxic traits, and then we're gonna move on to your toxic traits, so we don't focus on our problems. McKenzie, you wanna start?
Yeah. Okay. So my toxic trait: we listen and we don't judge. I will read a book on a physical copy, and I will also listen to an audiobook at the same time. And people think I'm psycho for it.
I do.
So many people do that.
I do like to separate it. I do fantasy and something else.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm reading, or I was reading Spark of the Everflame, and I was listening to One True Loves.
My toxic trait is, and y'all know this one, I have trouble finishing series. I get really excited to start a new series and then I never go back and finish. So my goal this year was to finish some series, and I just finished.
You just finished one.
I did. I finished.
Divine Rivals?
Yeah, Letters of Enchantment. That's what it's called.
Oh,
Right?
Ruthless
That's
House.
probably.
The second. I finished the second book.
called Letters of Enchantment.
I don't know books by their series. I just know their series name. I know books by their actual name. I would have never known what you were talking about.
So I was like, did I get the wrong book?
Just like you call Fourth Wing the Empyrean series.
Oh,
It took me so long to catch on to that.
I call it Fourth Wing, but when I'm referring to it to on podcasts and stuff.
No, I can't. It does not.
That's fair.
Register.
I think they need to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a toxic
I don't
trait
disagree.
for authors.
Yeah. So I didn't realize I also had that issue because I have like 4 unfinished series right now. Or, of course, this Point and Lovely.
finished,
No, I've only read the
lies?
first 2. And
And the second one left off on a cliffhanger.
I know.
I do that too.
Oh
So
my
I fully get that.
I know. And I haven't finished Divine Rivals. I haven't.
Well, there's only one more book in that one.
I know.
So
It's just that
that's
I'm
why I
not
picked that one to do. Because I was like, I only have to get through one more book.
I only
Thrown a
have
flat.
to finish a duology.
I have been done with 6 out of 7 of the books for a full year now. And I've
tear my
not read
hopes
the
up
last book.
So bad. So bad.
Honestly, I don't remember.
But she is reading it with me when I get to Kingdom
Yeah.
of Ash.
I'm going to
I
need
did
a full
finish
refresh.
that one. I finished all the Maspers.
Is it romance novel?
No, fantasy. I finished romance.
See, I'm the opposite. I finish fantasy and I don't finish romance.
I don't know. Maybe it's because fantasy sometimes gives me anxiety. So I just decide not to give myself anxiety.
I think prior to this one that I finished this week, the last one was probably like The Hunger Games. Oh my God. And there's a new one coming out in like a couple weeks. So I'm about to have to read that one.
Okay, that's kind of like those Indiana Jones movies or the Fast and Furious. Like, you need to stop printing them. Like, how did
Honestly,
you? It
I-
ended. How are you?
Oh, no.
making so many prequels.
I've already pre-ordered it. I am absolutely pumped
No.
for this book.
Probably won't read it.
So excited.
Nothing can convince me to read Hunger Games. Nothing.
I absolutely.
Let alone
I have
watch
the box
movies.
set up there.
I like the movies.
We watched
Liam Hemsworth was
I
nice
hate
to look at.
Oh, we watched the prequel this week.
Yeah.
I've seen it a few times, but I love it.
Anytime I watch it, that song gets in my head.
Which one? Eyes Open?
Are you?
Oh.
Are you? That's all.
Someone.
The prequel is all about where that song came from.
Speaking of things you just watched Harry Potter or something, and I know you just said that. Someone just showed me a video of Daniel Radcliffe that I have to show you when we finish, and you will never look at him the same again.
Gross.
No, I cannot
What do you
wait.
mean gross? Like
I just
bodily?
ugly.
Like, oh.
No, I've got to show you this video. Anyways, my bookish toxic trait is I will read the last page of a book before I start reading
That's
it.
very tough.
I think I
Yeah,
did
I don't
with
do that.
Kingdom of Ash.
I look at the last page to see
What?
how many pages.
I definitely read the Kingdom of Ash.
Yeah,
I
I
do that
don't.
with Onyx Storm.
No, I didn't. Just because we were reading it together, but I really wanted
Held
to.
you
I
accountable.
say she would have.
I would have.
Like the teacher was watching you.
I literally would have if y'all would have not have been reading it with
That's
me.
crazy because that last section of the book, like the last
Mm-hmm. The last page.
but honestly, if you
Gave
did
them
that, you
away.
probably would have been like, what?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
I
the
will say
last
that
page
with
makes me
reading
feel
the book.
better because then I won't have that much anxiety knowing how it ends. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
That's fair. Not with Rebecca Yarros.
So I was also going to say I also dog ear pages, but not of my own books.
No, I definitely dog ear pages.
The library book?
Oh, 100%. I'm like, it's a
that's
library book.
awful.
Who cares?
I dog ear all my books.
I'm bad about bending the spine.
I do.
Oh,
like-
not on my own books. I don't touch my own. Mine are perfect.
No, mine are not. But I also give people mine a lot to read. I'm like a library of Kaylee. So
Well, I lent someone books and I'm stressed. I've been stressed the whole time because I'm like, am I going to get this book back? What are they going to look like? Like,
all the girls I work with borrow books from me. So
I love that.
they all have some of my books right now. Will I ever get them back? I don't know. All right, y'all ready
Yeah.
to dive in? This one says, we listen and we don't judge. I would still read any new book that Colleen Hoover put out.
Well, I probably would too.
God.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like
Um,
Colleen Hoover?
That's a hot take because I know she's in a lot of hot water right now. But yeah, I don't know. I still like a lot of her stuff.
I've never read a Colleen Hoover book.
Verity was out of pocket.
Okay, hold on. I hated Verity.
I have read It Ends With Us.
I love
It Begins With Us, and I genuinely cannot remember what they're about.
I've only seen the movie. I've never read any Colleen Hoover.
The movie
Mhm.
messed it up.
Did
It's a lot of drama, but I don't think,
Maybe
like,
we
when
should
you
watch
ask
that
people
one
who
now.
love the book, they don't think that Blake Lively did Lily Bloom justice.
I could see that.
Yeah.
It was just a different image than what people had imagined.
Yeah. I
And
kind of
I-
pictured
I
like a
s- I agree
small,
with that.
timid,
Yeah.
and she just was with
Not wearing 17 layers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
what else you got?
My toxic trait is I want to be chased through the woods by a masked man. Which honestly, you know,
I like, don't even know what to say. to that.
valid.
That was terrifying.
Yeah, no.
I didn't immediately think of Tamlin in the woods in wolf form. Like, I don't know why, but that was where my brain just went.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I don't even have words for it.
Okay, I still get freaked out if I'm like running up the stairs at nighttime and it's dark. Like, no.
Theory, you think that like, yeah, getting chased in the woods by this wolf creature
It is, yeah.
great. But
Great?
no.
No, that's weird.
That's actually
I want
terrifying.
That's terrifying.
The Fae can drag me back to their land. So
That's so funny. I mean, take me to the Feylands, but don't chase me. I'll come willingly.
Pull me through the quicksilver.
I'll come willingly.
Hold your hand and walk through the barrier. Like, don't chase me.
Oh. Okay, this one says
Now, if those are your first two.
no. I started off with two
That
intense.
Okay.
This one says I buy a whole series before I read the first book, which honestly is
Oh.
the same.
It's expensive.
Yeah. And then if you don't like it,
Yeah. No.
yeah, don't do that.
I've gotten to where I
I
only buy books if I like them. Like, if I read
Same.
them and I'm like,
Oh.
I love this, I'll buy it. And I might never touch it again. But, like,
No, I don't do that.
Shelf trophy.
I don't reread books, and I don't like spending money on books. So it has to be.
reread.
I've
I
only
hate rereading.
ever reread Harry Potter, and I've only ever reread any Sarah Adams book. I reread, I think, all of her books.
I reread Fourth Wing.
Same.
I don't
That
think
was
I
only
could
'cause of-
ever reread fantasy books.
I just.
So you never reread Fourth Wing?
No.
Oh, I've read it 4 times.
Oh.
That's my toxic trait. I've read Fourth Wing 4 times. Like,
New.
No, fantasy is just too much. Like romance, they're short and sweet.
that's true.
Happy. Fantasy is just a lot to reread.
I just have so much on my TBR, and that's why I don't finish series. I get so excited to start something new.
Mhm.
I don't have time to go back and read
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, I'm upset. I
Ugh.
hate starting new things. I'm like, oh, give me my, like, comfort.
Oh no. I'm like, what is the
I
hype?
can see that because the only two TV shows I watch are Vampire Diaries and Gilmore Girls. So
Same. Gilmore
So-
Girls every August. The
every
moment
August.
there's a little breeze.
And then Vampire Diaries in between. I don't have much time to watch TV, but if I watch TV, it's either those two or Hallmark.
Like One Tree Hill is my absolute favorite, and I've watched it through one time because I just
What?
cannot. I don't like. I already know what's gonna happen.
I watched Criminal Minds forward
Oh.
and backwards.
Forward
We
and
literally
back.
watched it backwards in college. We were like, let's just go backwards.
I will only rewatch movies if it's been like 3 or 4 years.
No.
I don't want to like
I
fully
just
remember it.
watched. What did I watch this weekend? Because I said so.
I don't know that.
I don't
I
know this either.
It's with Mandy Moore in it.
Is it old?
Yeah, I looked it up. It's like 2007.
I don't know
Oh,
what that is.
What? It is so good. It's a chick flick. Love
I
it.
don't know that one.
I'll have to look it up.
You need to.
All right, this one says, I look at the end of each chapter to see if anything is about to happen, and it makes me read the chapter faster.
I don't
I
do
could-
that.
I
but
don't
can
support
get
that. I've done that on pages. Like, I've read down to the bottom of the page.
Yeah,
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Only if I see something big coming though, like
Yes.
what's about to come.
Yeah.
this one's funny. I forget authors' names, so I will continue to buy books by authors I don't vibe with because I never look books up before buying them.
What?
That's a lot of wasted money. Absolutely not.
What?
I mean,
How do you never look books up?
I don't know. That's a good
It's
question.
cheap though. I just convinced myself that Kindle Unlimited $13 a month is okay.
Yes, it's okay.
Absolutely. Especially with as much as you read.
I'm a library book person. I don't like spending money.
Well, it's just like a library. It's just a virtual library.
But
And
for
it's a
$13 a month,
$13 library.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But
save that money.
you can do is like, what if you read 10 books? That's $1.30
I mean, I do.
a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I go
Or
through
free.
some.
That's
the
how
library.
much your taxes are being paid
But you
to fund the library.
never know
Mm,
how if the library is going to have a book.
yeah, I'll just leave like 20 things on
See,
hold. And
the
then
hold
just-
stresses me out. It's like
Uh-uh.
17 weeks. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to
Ah,
forget about this
But if you have
book.
10 things up there, it doesn't really matter. You just, as they come in.
I'll forget about that.
I go once a week and I'll just pick up whatever books are there.
No.
That's wild.
Kindle Unlimited for life.
I don't like saving money.
I do not relate to that. And my husband would love for me to not like to spend.
I'm very cheap.
I'm not.
I'm not. Our
I don't have a
husband.
job, first of all.
If you do have a job, stay-at-home mom is a full-time job.
I feel like I don't have
Thank you.
I have a job, and my husband's like, why are you buying coffee? And I'm like, because again, bye.
Oh, my husband's like, you never get anything for yourself. Go splurge. And then I'm like, $5 on coffee.
Well, I own a coffee shop, so I don't have to pay for my coffee technically.
I'm so
Yeah,
cheap.
but-
I make my own coffee every morning.
But also, I don't get a paycheck, so
That's
true.
I
I don't either.
yeah, I work a lot.
I
don't
subbed
get a-
today and I made like $60. And I'm like, oh, bank. It's going in my bank account.
Okay. Sometimes when I'm not sure if I want to DNF or not, I go read all the bad reviews and see if they felt like I do, and then I decide.
I do the opposite.
That's kind of.
I read all the good ones and I'm like, what am I missing? Can I get through this?
My toxic trait, another one, is I just cannot DNF a book.
Same. I'm the same way. I
Most of the time,
like
no.
be like, oh my God, what happened? I'll have to finish it.
My problem is I'm like, I just spent 4 hours reading the first half of this book. It's a waste of time.
I've only DNF'd one book.
I've done more than that.
I've only DNF'd When the Moon Hatched, and that's because I was 400 pages in and still had 400 to go, and I just was not doing that.
See, I would be like, well, I just spent time reading 400. I might as well.
Oh, okay. So I DNF'd the third book in Blood and Ash. There was just a lot going on, and I was like just tired of it. And like I really liked the first two books. And the third one, I was like, can I catch a break? Can we get some like just boring descriptives right now? And she's like, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Now, instead of just like completely DNFing a book, I will
Skip some pages.
spark notes it, like the end of it, be like,
Oh.
what happened at the end of this book, and then figure out what happened at the end. Then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good now.
Like Spell Shot, I hated that book. But I got like 50% and I just started really quickly skimming. And then I got to the end and I was like, I'm good.
I do that on Kindle.
So did you count it as a read?
I did because I technically read most of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the last probably 50 pages. I just like really quickly skimmed to see if
Oh,
there was
okay.
anything interesting.
That makes sense.
But I hated it. Sorry.
Like I see so many people talk good about When the Moon Hatched. I kind of want to like,
Try again.
no, because I don't want to read the first 400 pages again. I kind of just
Ew.
want to pick up where I left off.
Go for it.
Do it. I know.
I don't know. It was a lot. And I have a lot more interesting things.
I was gonna say that's not up on my high on my list.
I'm not starting it anytime soon.
I honestly, though, I don't think I looked to see what happened at the end of that one. So maybe I'll just Google it. Just
To be continued.
when I'm getting to a really good part, I can't stop my eyes darting down the page and spoiling it for myself.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
said that.
relatable.
I have to physically cover up the rest of the page with my
Oh,
hand to stop
I've
myself.
done that. I literally will put my hand up and I'm like, don't read. And like,
You did that in Onyx Storm when we were reading together. You had your hand up.
I did because I don't want it to be spoiled. I was like, don't ruin it, Mackenzie.
It was so funny.
That was funny because I didn't even realize that's what you were doing. I thought you were just following along.
No,
You had to read
lock it so I don't finish it.
That's so funny. Okay. I have to stop after a spicy scene and tell my bestie and fiance about it, or I'll giggle while reading it, and also my facial expressions always to give away what kind of mood my book is in at the moment. Honestly, valid.
That's so funny though. I've never
That's
thought
me.
about like.
I was texting you during that
Oh yeah.
in the deal. I was like, oh my gosh, did they really just say this?
Yes. Sending me like screenshots. I was like, yep, keep reading.
If the slow burn is too painful, I will Google it. Valid.
Oh, I've never done that.
I feel you.
Neither.
But I just a slow burn. I'm like, oh my God, let's go.
I
Like,
Google everything though about my life, about books.
see, I've
Dr.
made my
Name
friends
is me.
send me fan pics and they will only send me fan pics so that like I don't see spoilers for stuff. So like,
that.
Well, this one says the slow burn gets too painful. I'll Google it. I cannot get invested in a relationship if they will not end up together or one dies.
Amen. I support that.
I support that too. We're not judging, girl. We're with you.
I feel like most of the time you can figure out who the love interest
Okay,
is.
well, Spark of the Other Flame did not end how I thought.
I'm just saying, at the end, Metal Slinger, I have no idea which one. It's like another Powerless situation.
Oh.
You know, kind of, but not really, where there's two kind of love interests. I have no idea what's happening.
Kind of like Light Lark.
Yeah, kind of.
That's true. Zodiac Academy is like that too. And there's 4 MMCs in Zodiac Academy with 2. Yeah, with 2. Well, technically 5 with 2 MMCs. FMCs. And so I've read 3 books and I have no idea who's going to be with who.
I think I'm gonna pass.
I have an idea of one,
But
but I have no idea for the other.
I feel like that's a trope I don't like.
I kind of like it. I don't know.
I would like. I'm fully invested in these people's relationships,
That's fair.
so I would like to know like ahead of time.
Same. Okay, my toxic book trait is that if I don't like the name of the main characters, the book automatically loses 1 star in a possible DNF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why the freak could they not just
Even
name
Sarah.
him?
I don't
Yeah.
either.
Saris.
Why
Yeah.
could they not just name him
Fisher.
Fisher? It's not that
Or-
difficult.
I hate the
his
name
first
King,
name?
but like,
Kingfisher.
What?
Kingfisher.
you didn't know that?
What?
King.
What did you
Fisher
think his
was
name was?
I don't know. Like I knew it was Kingfisher, but like, are we sure he doesn't have a first name?
No, that's his first name.
My neighbor's like first name is King. I don't like it, but at least that's like
Big one.
Fisher. I thought it
King-
went together.
Or Fisher.
Yes.
It does.
So then, what's his
I'm just saying, why could they not just name him Fisher?
right?
And he
Well,
goes by
she calls
Fisher.
him Fisher.
Yeah, but his name is not Fisher, and that
Never?
just
I don't know. I knew it was Kingfisher, but I thought he had another name.
That's so funny.
Quicksilver.
That might be where my brain is at.
Yeah.
No.
Which honestly, I get that though, because sometimes if the name is really bad, I just can't.
Yeah, Rebecca got me
I
messed
can't.
up in
Mhm.
this Empyrean series.
Yeah.
The names, I'm struggling.
Yeah. The names in
Wait till Binding 13.
Ugh.
AIOFE. What would you say?
you said it was Aoife.
It is Aoife. Or
I was
T-A-
saying A off in my head.
TADHG.
Taz.
Tig. Like tiger without an R.
Tag.
I would have said Tog.
Tog.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
But it's in Ireland. And
it's in Ireland.
I've had to flip back and
Players.
forth. Yes.
Oh.
There's apparently like 2 other big sports over there that I'd never heard of before. Hurling and Kamaji or something. I don't know. I literally had to look it up. I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. I've had to flip to the glossary like 100 times.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's scary.
Okay, this one says I won't finish an audiobook if the voice acting is bad, which is the main I have with audiobooks.
Amen.
Most of them I can't listen to.
The Daughter of No Worlds loved, and there was one audiobook or one female the whole time, and it did not switch perspectives of a chapter until over halfway through. So you're halfway through, you don't think you're getting a
Yeah.
second perspective. Boom, the male comes in. He talks like he's never catching a breath, and he'll be like when he
Oh.
speaks, and it's like very normal. And I'm like, why? You're stressing me out. And I almost didn't finish it because
of him.
his voice was so bad.
Oh,
If you're Max,
That's awful.
Max Centaurus.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can't say
I
that.
love
Max.
him. I love that name. But
Have
his
you
voice-
started the second book?
No, it's on my Kindle though.
Oh, that's another series I've only read the first book of.
Same at the moment.
But you're going to finish.
But
I'm
it's
gonna
been
finish-
months since I've read the first
call.
one. So, okay, this one is me. It's not me, but it's me. I buy books that are pretty and don't even know if I would like them because that is me.
What is this about? I don't know, but it's
I don't know.
pretty
If it's
pages.
pretty. That's literally why I went into Target and bought that book with the pretty.
Oh yeah,
I ended up liking
Judging a
it.
book by its cover.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a thing now.
Oh, sprayed edges.
I
They're
love
gorgeous. I know.
It's doing wonders for more.
Stedges. The guy
Stedges.
from Books a Million.
Stedges. He did
What?
say Stedges. He did.
Ew, why? Stedges.
Remember that?
No.
Oh, there's this creepy guy at Books a Million. And
Our local Books
I think he
Million.
wanted to be in our videos.
I think he did.
TH.
yeah, hopefully he doesn't watch this.
I'm
We love
sure
you.
he does not. No, we don't. We
We
don't.
love your
Don't say
support.
that. He might be weird.
We love you platonically.
You've probably seen all the stickers that you put out. So he might have watched.
Oh, I forgot about those. If you're listening and you actually found a sticker in a Books A Million book,
That was
let us
me.
know.
Or Target. I put them in.
That would be hilarious if anyone.
That would
watched.
be so funny.
So if you did, that would be
Let me know if my marketing tactic worked.
Because we're gonna just start putting them everywhere. We're gonna slip them
I
into my
put them
kids'
in
backpacks.
every blind date with a book at Maple.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh yeah, that is
I
smart.
love that. You should put them into every book at Maple.
I should. Well, I have the whole thing there that they can
That's
scan.
true.
Okay. This one says buying library books on sale and never reading them.
You can buy
Buy-
library books.
They have like a little table.
That's where I get
Like-
a lot of mine, but I didn't.
Oh.
Most of them aren't library books. Most of them are donated. But $1, that's where I've gotten. I got
Hmm.
3 or 4 like brand new Kristen Hanna books. I got Mad Honey there.
This one says being more excited to decorate my bookshelf than read some of the books on it.
You know what?
I feel that. But then I see that mess over there.
Okay. If a book gets too slow, I'll look up Spark Notes for the next few chapters. Same.
I cannot force myself to do that.
No, me either.
But okay.
Trust. Power
Yes.
through.
I do it more when it's like a suspenseful book and it gets my heart rate up, you know what I mean? And I'm like, what is going to happen? Because I'm like that in movies too.
Right.
Like if I'm in the movie theater watching a movie, I Google the movie.
What?
While you're sitting there.
Yes, while I'm sitting there and I will read what happens in the movie
Oh my gosh.
just so I know. I know. It's like an anxiety thing. I'm so sure of it. Because that's why I
Absolutely.
rewatch the same stuff over and over again
Oh,
because I know
that's
what's
why
going to
I
happen.
do, yeah.
I like to know what's going to happen and then I'll watch it.
Absolutely
Well,
not.
that's
I like the
crazy.
surprise.
I'm crazy. It's fine.
I don't-
We know. We listen and we don't judge. Okay. We listen and
We
we don't.
support you.
Your support means so much. Okay. This one says the name of the author and the POV in which the book is written is a big deal for me.
As in, people don't like reading third person.
Yeah.
I feel that. I mean, I will. Like, I don't have a problem with it, but
I actually enjoy it for Throne of Glass. I didn't like it at first, but I like it because I get to know what's going on everywhere. Like in Fourth Wing, our idea of what's happening is so limited because it's only from Violet
Mm.
yeah.
the whole time. So Throne of Glass I like because it's everything.
I feel like in a book with a lot of characters, it's better to not
Mhm.
because it's hard to get to know
Yeah.
everyone.
My favorite POV though is when there's one chapter for the boy and one
Oh,
chapter.
I love
I thought you didn't like that.
No, I don't like it when it switches from past to present.
But you don't mind POV change.
No, I like POV
Okay.
because I like to see from
Yeah.
different POVs. I
makes
just don't like when it's now and then 10 years ago.
So did
Well, I-
the things we leave unfinished like get on your nerves?
Yes, it gets on my nerves.
Because it was 4 perspectives and then 2 time periods.
But you like Love in Other Words?
I liked the book, but that part stressed me out.
I put a book in your TBR jar that's like that.
Oh, great.
I love it. If you like Love in Other Words.
Yeah.
but-
Like in Throne of Glass, whenever it would switch to a couple chapters of Rowan, a couple chapters of the witches, and a couple
Yeah.
chapters of Dorian, that also stressed me out.
yeah.
It's on my nerves, mainly because I just want to hear about Aelin and Rowan now.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I do like the witches.
Oh, I hated it. I hated that story.
Manon.
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 Okay, this one's a little
Manon.
wild. This one says I open the book to the middle, find a page, and read that page, and then also read the very last page, which I kind of do that, but also kind of
I'm judging.
not.
My thing is, I don't understand what's going on, so it does nothing to
Yeah.
me.
I don't understand skipping to the middle. I understand reading the very last
Yeah.
page. The middle kind of throws me off, and then you read the whole page. Okay.
That's interesting.
You know, I'm not
You do you,
judging
girl.
because I read the last page. So
You do you.
listen
Yeah.
and we
And she Googles things.
I Google lots of things. Yeah. This one says I read ahead when it's a good part. Before I get through the entire part, I start to skim the pages.
Okay, yeah. We kind
Fair.
of that.
Do that too.
Okay. This one says I can't DNF a book. I'll push through to the end, even if I hate it
Yes.
because I have serious FOMO and need to check it off my
Absolutely.
Goodreads.
Amen. Because until
Yeah.
Goodreads makes a DNF shelf,
Yes.
I'm finishing
Make a
about
shelf.
Well, like,
no, I like
so,
the
like-
button.
the button.
Yeah, that's fair.
I look up quotes from every book before I read it
Oh.
to convince me to read it.
Oh. Interesting.
No.
I have to see fan art
Yeah,
for
I
me
look
to
up
understand
fan
the
art.
book.
Like
Right.
for Metal Slinger, I was looking up fan art,
Mm-hmm.
but then it kind of gave a little bit away.
I just thought of one for myself that I
yeah.
should have said. I only read the dialogue.
yeah, you do
Oh,
dialogue.
So I don't ever know what people look like
What?
because I don't read descriptions for anything.
You don't read descriptions.
Doesn't make
at
any
all.
sense.
How did you read Throne of Glass?
I told you I thought half it
descriptions.
was boring.
Well, that's because you don't read it.
So then, did you like that interview book you were talking about?
No, I hated it.
That was dialogue.
Karina's toxic trait. She doesn't really read the book.
I could tell you everything I'm reading
with
about
that one time, and he said, "So she doesn't read."
That's what Brandon said.
half of each book that I read is dialogue. I just don't read the
So you
dialogue
only read
stuff
half of
between.
the
I
book.
literally dialogue.
So you only read half of the book.
How do you know what's going on?
I can literally tell you word for word what happened, what is happening in Binding 13, but I've only read the dialogue.
What?
Yeah.
My flabber has been gasted right now.
Also, I've taught myself how to like skim really well, and so I can read the dialogue and kind of read, and then if I'll go back if I can tell that there was something important, and I'll kind of skim over what it was.
I didn't know you actually skipped.
Huh?
I thought you just skimmed the descriptions. I didn't think you actually skipped them. Like
A
full-blown
mix of both.
skip.
A mix of both. Like if it's a chunk, like a big chunk, I'll just kind of like look for keywords. Move on.
Katarina, I think we're judging.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. I can tell you straight up every book that I've read.
See, I would have no idea. I read it 4 times, and I'm still like,
Absolutely
what's
not.
happening?
I get so impatient that I'm like,
Y'all saw me read Onyx Storm.
Yeah.
That took me years.
Well, I mean, I just read fast. Like, I will read the whole thing. I just read fast.
See,
if I have to read every single word, I'm like,
I'm a
this isn't.
slow reader.
Whenever it's like boring part and they're talking about going to dinner, I'll skim over it. I'll
Right.
skip it. But for a good 85% of the book, I read the whole thing.
My problem
Good for you.
like you're like, congratulations. I only read the dialogue.
I don't understand. I wish
Fine.
I wish I could read a book like Katarina one day. I don't think I could do it.
Imagine how many books I would get off my TBR if I could read like Katarina. How many are you at?
For the year,
Yeah.
I'm on 22.
I'm on 14.
I'm on 15. Look at us.
I've read more. My goal was only 50, and I read 40 last year. And I
I'm
was
telling you, you're
I'm
gonna be fine.
cooking.
I am so bad that when I was teaching and I would do a read aloud, I would have to purposely think through, don't just
work
read
it.
dialogue. Don't just read dialogue. And I would read it and then be like, you have to read it. You have to read it. Charlie exclaimed, and it would just kill me inside because I don't read that. Yeah. There were so many times I would like, catch myself skipping over it and be like, sorry, guys. Let me go back.
I'm sorry. 3 pages later.
Let me get back. Sorry.
We
That's
have a winner.
That's wild.
Yeah.
See, I'm the kind of person, though, that I have to read the descriptions. And until I can fully see what it looks like in my head, I can't move forward.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like visualizing it, I have a whole cinematic
Movies in my
experience.
head.
I have
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah, I do too.
cinematic thing going on in my brain.
You know, I wonder if that's why I don't like audiobooks that much.
It might be.
It
because-
drives me crazy hearing half
Probably.
the stuff I'm like, I would not read that if I was just, I can read this faster myself.
Yeah, it must be. You should create a new audiobook for or with no dialogue. No dialogue.
No dialogue.
Or dialogue only.
Dialogue.
It's like I would never read
But
that.
she didn't like the interview book. And that's all dialogue.
I think it was more like content.
That's a wild
honestly.
phenomenon.
Crazy.
All right, this one says, I think that I would make it across the parapet.
I think I would not.
If Jack Barlow was behind me, absolutely not.
I think I would make it across. Now, would I last very long once I made it across? No.
I wouldn't start. I'm petrified of heights.
I mean, I'm terrified
Same.
of heights too, but I just have this toxic trait where I have to prove people wrong whenever they think I can't do something.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I would do it. Then once I got over there, I would not survive.
I think I would. on my body.
Drag myself across. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like if I lay there and just drag myself
I mean, there's no
across.
way to fall that way, right? Because the wind can't get you.
If I was by myself, absolutely I could make it.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Could I have been at threshing?
No.
No.
I actually, when I was reading it, was like, why did no one do that?
Well,
know?
see me, I just want to be in the scribe quadrant.
Not me.
I do.
I want a dragon rider.
I don't want a dragon rider. I'm good.
I'd be too scared to get on the back because it'd be too high.
I'm good.
You know,
I
we're
can-
only
okay.
as tall as like their feet, right?
Yeah.
Like-
And I have a really hard time imagining what all of this looks like. And then I see those TikToks of people are like, you're waking up at Pasgaiath. Have you seen those where it's like,
Yes.
you're waking up at the last day before Pompeii erupted? And people are like, oh, I've died 75 times today. They're sitting on the back of Taryn in one of the things. And I'm like, that man looks 3 feet tall. No one has given me an accurate representation
Picture.
of what that looks like. So I have no idea. I just imagine dragon tails.
Dragon,
Like, that's-
dragon.
Yes, I think that's why I love Fourth Wing.
Oh, yeah. I think we all had an obsession with dragon
Yeah.
tails.
So that's what I imagine.
That is so.
And Harry Potter and like Divergent and Hunger Games.
We need to go all the way
If
back
you
to our
obsessed with Dragon Tales when you were younger.
That's
then you
it.
love Fourth Wing.
We just unlocked.
So-
We just
childhood.
unlocked.
You're
We
welcome.
just figured it out.
That's why you love Fourth Wing.
You're welcome.
Rebecca Yaros was a Dragon Tale stan.
Or her kids were a Dragon Tales fan.
I wish with all my heart. Like, I will never forget that.
That is so funny.
Okay, Katarina's gonna love this
Oh,
one.
no.
Love this one. The pregnancy trope is my favorite trope.
Ew.
See, I told you.
Oh, that's
your
so
favorite.
funny. That's so funny.
Okay, this one says, if I don't understand what I'm reading, I'll start all the way over or read it out loud to myself.
Can I read it?
McKenzie.
That is so me. Sometimes I will stop myself and read it out loud, and I'm like, still didn't make sense, and then just keep going. I'm like, maybe I just didn't read it right in my head.
He can be like that. I
Mhm.
feel like I'm like, he did what?
But it might
Where
be
is he?
because I also can't pronounce the words. That's one thing I love about my Kindle. If I don't know a word, I'm like, boop. Yes. I think that has made me a better reader.
Like
I tried doing that in a fantasy book, and it was like
Yeah.
no match found.
Yeah. This one I'm kind of secretly judging. Before I start a book, I see how many pages it is and do a
Me too.
little work out of how many pages a day I want to read. Like, how do you plan?
Oh, I
how many
tell myself I
pages a
have to read 100 pages a day, every day
Of one book.
of the same book.
Okay.
Just 100 pages. That's my
I
goal
never
every day.
do that anyways, but like,
When I'm choosing a book, I do that. I'm like, which one will take me least amount of time?
I just can't
Mine
plan
depends
out
on
how
genre,
many
too.
books.
Like
But
I can read a thriller or a romance like that. Fantasy,
I'm a very like hardcore mood reader though. So like, I just could never tell myself how many, because some days I'm just like, I physically cannot. do
Oh,
a
I will
book right
literally
now.
say there's 600 pages in this book. I always try to do 100 pages a day so I can finish it by whatever day. I do it every single time I read a book. I'm like, I can finish this by.
I cannot.
I
I will never
cannot.
put a page limit on my book or on a book per day for myself.
I feel like I had a bad reading day if it was less than 100.
Sometimes I don't read a book, and like if I read a book in like 24 hours, the next day I will not read.
Take a break from it.
Yeah, the next day I will not read at all.
Really?
I read Spark in the car, like probably 80% of it, and I almost had to take a break because I was like, that's a lot of reading,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't.
That Elsie Silver book yesterday, and I read it literally in 24 hours. But then I picked up another one. Actually, I've been doing really good this week because I finished Metal Slinger, then immediately started a photo finish, and then immediately started Wild Eyes. I'm gonna need a couple days break though, probably after this.
Yeah, I feel that. Like my brain has
I
to.
have to take a brain.
Oh, I
break.
can't not have a book.
I can't. Actually, I just set time limits on my app, so I might have to.
I did that on my apps. You did that?
Yeah. Okay.
Not on my book app though.
When I'm really enjoying a book, I will force myself to only read a few chapters a day to draw out the experience.
Oh, heck
Ew.
no.
I cannot. It says then I can't focus on work because the characters are all I can think about. I mean, I get that part, but
That part is 100% like I'm sitting there like, I wonder what Jamie and Bibba are doing today.
If I read something too quick, I will literally not be able to sleep that night because that is on my mind.
Yes.
It's so weird.
See, I'm the kind of person that I'm like, if I'm interested, I'm diving headfirst into it. And I'm finishing it until I get to a point where I'm like, okay to not go any further.
Yeah.
That's wild. I feel that.
This one, yeah. If I'm reading a book, I'm really invested. This is opposite. If I'm reading a book I'm really invested in, I will not sleep or breathe until I finish. That is me.
I read until
Like I'm trying
I
to
can't
decide how
focus
much
anymore.
sleep I want to get tonight to finish Wild Side or not and finish it tomorrow.
I did that with Fourth Wing when I first read it. I was pregnant.
So good.
And I remember being up and I looked at like time and it was 2 a.m. and I was like, oh my God. I read it in less than 48 hours. It was so good.
That is one book I wish I could reread all
I
like for the
know.
first time.
Yeah.
All over
Eat
again.
it up.
So good.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
That was fun.
That was fun.
Do we want to go through our recent reads real quick since we forgot to do it earlier? Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, we can.
I just finished reading The Wingman, which is the third book in the series that McKenzie is reading by
Ooh.
Stephanie Archer.
That's behind the.
Right. Is that with Riley Miller?
No.
Okay. He's called the wingman in this book.
Okay, then yes.
The friend from home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I didn't realize it said that in the first book. It's been a minute since I read the first book.
It just came across, which is why it's like here.
Yeah, that is.
So I'm reading the first one of the book, which is, I'm an idiot.
First one of the book.
Behind the Net.
I wrote Behind the Night. It's Behind the Net. It's the first book of the series that she's reading.
Mine's a third.
Okay.
That's
And there's
funny.
how many?
3.
Okay.
I think 3.
See, that's nice. I feel like some of these romance,
Go on forever. You're like, just stop.
I'm like, I can't read 7 books.
No.
And I mean, they're less than 400 pages, but I'm like,
Still,
Me and McKenzie are eating hockey up because we're going to hockey games.
we're going next Friday.
Or I think the Friday after this releases.
I'm so excited.
We're going to ladies' night.
And we got
I'm
it
gonna do
right.
ladies' night where they were fighting last time,
Yeah.
throwing each other.
I wanna
against
bang on the glass.
walls. Yes, it's gonna be
Fun.
so much fun.
I was like, wow, I feel really competitive right now and I have no idea what's happening. I'm gonna have to, like,
I
YouTube.
really have to look up rules because I don't know what's happening. No idea.
Yeah.
Couldn't even see the puck, but I was enjoying it. It was fun.
It was fun.
y'all have fun with it.
We will.
I
We'll send you
finished
video.
Anathema. I liked it. It was really heavy, so I don't know that I might read the second one. There's a duology, and the second one comes out in like April, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really long and it's really deep. That like I'm like maybe I should just finish it because I
It seems
actually
like
have
a very you book, but not a very me book.
It is One Dark Window on steroids
One Dark
with world
Window
building.
was about as deep as I can get.
Same.
This is a lot deeper.
Because there were a lot of times because I listened to One Dark Window, I had to like pause and like think through what they just said.
Well, that leads right into our next.
Yeah, speaking
episode.
of One Dark Window, we're about to film our Shepherd King series.
So check out our next
Check it out.
episode, and we will talk all about that series because we all
Ate
ate it up. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.